Simon & Schuster Audio presents Night of the Living Dead, a fully dramatized tale of absolute terror. By George Romero and John Russo.
Once upon a time, there was a world where people walked at night and were not afraid, where churchyards were places of rest, where marble slabs remained firm and solid earth did not crumble and fall away. This is a story about the end of that world.
State, gentlemen, citizens, world, Darrell.
God damn it! We've been driving for hours to find a crummy boneyard, and now even the radio dies.
It could be the trees, Johnny. Maybe, they're blocking the waves or something.
Well, excuse me. I didn't know I was in the presence of an electronics expert. Maybe you can use your vast knowledge of radio and navigation to find your old man's final resting place. Driving 200 miles to put the wreath on the grave of someone I don't even remember isn't my idea of a fun Sunday.
Well, it's only once a year, and it makes Mom happy. I think we're almost there. I'm sure I recognize this place. Did you understand what that guy was talking about on the radio? Something about an emergency?
Yeah, big emergency. Maybe they've run short of alfalfa. The cider's contaminated. Whatever it is, it's not going to change our lives any. We could drop dead right now, and no one around here would even notice.
Look, there it is up on the left. If you turn into the drive and go to the top of the hill, it'll be around there somewhere. Do you remember where the grave is? I'm not too sure, and it's getting dark.
You're the expert. Look for it yourself. I've been doing all the driving, remember?
There it is. Oh, look at all the weeds. Don't these places have caretakers or something?
Yeah, and it looks like your prayers are answered.
Where? I don't see anyone.
That's because he's not really there. He's a spook. He comes out of the grave, then he hides until you get right on top of him, then he pounces. He's dead, but he won't lie down.
Oh, now I see him. Shut up, he'll hear you.
He doesn't care. The dead don't care. The dead don't hear. Did you know that, little sister? When you're dead, the first thing that goes is your eardrums. The worms get in and eat them as a delicacy. Then they use the channels to breathe in.
You're disgusting. Look, he's coming towards us. I'm going to talk to him about cleaning up here. Where are you going?
Back to the car. You two can fight it out.
Excuse me, but do you work here? If you could, what are you doing? Ah, Johnny, help me! Ah!
You crazy, degenerate bastard! Get off her! Run, Barbara! Get the car started!
Barbara ran, but Johnny didn't. He was too busy fighting the man, if man it was. A man with staring eyes, an oddly pulpy body that absorbed the blows pounding into him. The body that stank more than any living body should. The body that overpowered Johnny's younger, stronger one, ripping out his throat, smashing his skull against a rock, then delving deep inside.
Oh, God! Oh, God, where are the keys? Oh, no, Johnny still got them. Johnny, come on. Oh, no.
Barbara looked for her brother. She saw him, and the thing that straddled his body, its face smeared with blood. She did not wonder where the blood came from, for she could see the gaping hole in her brother's neck. But she felt no grief, only a mad desire to escape from the figure that now began to shamble towards her, bloody hands outstretched, scrabbling at the windows of the car and leaving pink smears all over them. Somehow, she released the handbrake, put the car in neutral, and her body, thrashing in terror, and the pounding outside set gravity in motion. It began to roll forward, gently at first, then faster, as if it sensed the terror that was behind it, the terror that pursued like a blind robot under the control of an unholy master. But hills don't go on forever, unless they lead straight to hell. Finally, the road leveled, then began to climb upward, and the car slowed, stopped, and slipped back until Barbara pulled on the brake. But the thing behind had no brakes. Frantically scanning the horizon, the girl saw a small farmhouse about 100 yards distant. To the left of the house was a gas pump. Barbara jumped from the car and ran until the solid wooden door of the farmhouse barred her flight.
Help! Oh, help me, please! For God's sake, help me! Let me in! Open this door, damn you! Oh my God, it's open. Where's the light switch? Oh, good. Is anyone home? Please, there's a madman outside. I gotta call the police. Where's the phone? Oh, there it is. Hello? Hello? Why the hell don't you answer? Let's try the radio. It's dead! Is everything dead in this fucking place? Will somebody tell me what's going on? I'm coming! I'm coming! Please help me! There's a madman coming to get me!
You keep away from me. Are you one of them?
What?
Don't come any closer. They're all around. Some of them look like you.
What the fuck's wrong with you? My brother's dead and the man who killed him is sitting out under that tree as though nothing happened.
You okay? Get inside, quick now. Look, I'm not gonna hurt you. I ain't one of them creeps. My name's Ben. Don't worry about that guy outside. There's lots more where you come from. But we'll be okay if I can get some gas. My truck's just about dry. You got the key to the pump?
Pump?
The gas pump out front. It's locked. Give me the key so we can gas up and go. It's the only chance we got.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't live here. My brother's dead. You're talking about gas pumps and my brother's out there with his throat torn out and the man who killed him is sitting under a tree watching us.
He got a friend with him now. Soon there'll be others. They know we're here. See that kindling over there? Now find some newspaper and we'll start a fire.
Kindling?
Kindling! Wood! Anything! They're frightened of fire. I'm gonna start a blaze out there that'll burn the rotten flesh clean off their bones if they come too close. I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get all of you, you filthy scum bastards!
But who are they?
Not who. What? Now turn on that radio and see if you can get some more news.
Emergency Radio Network. Normal broadcasting facilities have been temporarily discontinued. Stay tuned to this network for emergency information. Your law enforcement agencies urge you to remain in your homes. Keep all doors and windows boarded shut. Use all food, water, and medical supplies sparingly. Civil defense forces are attempting to gain control of the situation. Stay near your radio and stay tuned to this frequency. Do not use your automobile. Remain in your homes. Keep all doors and windows locked.
Okay, forget about the gas for a while. We're gonna have to hole up here for a bit. Now snap out of it and help me barricade these doors and windows, will you? I'm gonna bust up every bit of furniture I can find and you look for a hammer and some nails. What's your name anyway?
Barbara.
All right, and Barbara, I know you've been through a terrible time, but you gotta put it out of your mind for now. Take a look under the kitchen sink for the hammer while I see to the furniture.
Our broadcasters will convey information as received from Civil Defense Headquarters. This is your Civil Defense Radio Network. Normal broadcasting facilities have been temporarily discontinued. Stay tuned to this wavelength.
Turn the goddamn radio off. Starting to repeat itself. kind of hammer and nails?
It's a hammer and a jar full of nails.
Good girl. Now bring them over here and hand me the nails while I work on this window. Lucky this place ain't too big.
What are those things out there?
Don't rightly know. They're not human, that's for sure. Might have been once, but no more. No, sir. Give me a couple more nails. All I know is I was out of town on my job, and I was waiting at the station to get home to see my kids. Only the train didn't show. And I waited and I waited. No one seemed to know what was going on, so I started to hitch. Okay, that's fine. Now over to the next one. Anyways, no one would pick me up. But, well, that ain't surprising, because folks don't pick up black hitchhikers, do they? Then I get to this little town, and it's all wrong somehow. Looks like the plague's hit it, only no plague I know leaves people all tore up and bloody. Then I pass a diner, and I hear a radio blasting, and I know I gotta get me home as quick as possible to my two boys. And their ma's dead, and all they got is me and my mother. So I seen this pickup truck, and a guy lying beside it with his head pulled off, and his keys are still in ignition. So I take off like a bat out of hell, and the things I see along the way, I ain't gonna tell you about. Okay, let's do the door now. And I get to this town here, just over the other side of the hill, but I'm nearly out of gas, and I see a Sunoco station, nice and handy. But before I get to it, I have to pass another diner. And there comes a big gasoline truck roaring out of the parking lot. Damn near knocked me off the road. And there's about 10 or 15 of those things clinging on to it. And some of them are reaching into the driver's cab, and one of them has his arms around the driver's neck, and the truck goes clear across the road, right through the pumps, and boom! Everything blows. One big bang. I'll keep them out. Let's do the back of the house now. We'll leave the upstairs. There's no overhanging trees, and they don't seem to be able to climb. Where was I? Oh, yeah. The things still on the truck are blazing, and the rest are shuffling away as though they're scared of fire. And the driver, the poor bastard, he can't get out of his cab, and he's screaming because he's being cooked alive. And I never thought I'd say this, but it's a better way to go than being caught by those things. Then I take another look at the diner, and I see all its windows broken, and the door off the hinges, and all the cars still parked outside. And I knew those things were in there. Only it wasn't food they were after. Least of all, not the sort you and me eat. Sorry, honey. Had to make you stop. Look, can you hear me? I'm going to carry you upstairs to one of the bedrooms, and you'll be safe there. You lie down and rest, and when you feel better, you can come down again and help me.
I'm all right. I'd feel safer if I stayed with you. I can't stand the thought of those things outside, waiting. I think I'm going mad.
No, you're not. Why don't you take a look around for some wood? Now try that closet.
There's no wood, but there's something else. Oh, thank God, is there something else?
A rifle! See any shells?
A whole box.
Oh, that's great. This could be a hell of a lot worse.
It could.
Yeah, turn the radio on, will you? Might be some more news.